Hi guys, welcome back to Tigera Gitana. My name is Abby and today we're going to be talking about scripting. And I'm making this video before the Gemini new moon that's happening tomorrow because I want you guys to, if you guys want to, I want you guys to incorporate this into your ritual if you will do one tomorrow. Scripting is a really powerful law of attraction ritual and tool that you can use whether it's like weekly that you're doing it or nightly or monthly or whatever the case may be, or whether you're working with the moon to use it. This is like a really good tool to use, especially for this moon because it deals with Gemini, and Gemini is communication and like throat chakra and like just creativity and the mind, obviously ruled by Mercury. So bringing it all together with scripting is just the perfect thing. So I'm gonna be looking, if I look this way, because I'm looking at my notes. So these are like my 5 tips on how to just script whatever you want that you want to manifest, and this works really well if you are very much clear. You have to be clear on it, which is why my first tip is to meditate. Meditate on what you want now, whether it is or what you want future-wise, because you could do either scripting for the present tense or you can work for as far as what you want to see coming. So when you're scripting for like the present tense or future-wise, meditate on what exactly it is that you want. If you want to have, I don't know, if you want to have a dog, that's what you're thinking about it, you really want a dog. Meditate on what kind of dog, what size, the space, what are you going to need to take care of it, all of the things, all of the little details that you're going to need in order to paint the picture. Because scripting is basically, the way you need to look at it is that you're the author of this play. Just think about it, you're Shakespeare, you're creating this play that you are literally in your imagination. You could see it, you could feel it, you could taste it, and it's very, very crystal clear, and you can see the movements of the characters, you can see the personalities of the characters, you can see what it is that how the play progresses and how it just really climaxes at the story. So definitely meditate on what it is that you want, meditate on the feeling, meditate on the smell of it, meditate on every little thing that you want it to do. That way you can have a clearer vision as to what it is that you're going to write. The second tip is basically just the physical things that you're gonna need. You're gonna need like a notebook, or if you just want to write it in pen, that's cool, but it works really well when it's a notebook, because that way you can reference back to it after a long time. You could have all these plays that you've written out throughout your life about your life that have come true, so then you could have it all, sorry, it's long. So you could have it all compact in one notebook, and you're also going to need a pen. I use a permanent marker just because I want it to be set in stone. That's like the whole purpose of using a permanent marker. So that's the second thing that you will need. And if you would like to incorporate this as a ritual for tomorrow, definitely depending on how you customize your ritual, and I already made a video about ritual basics that it's on my channel. You can customize your ritual depending on what you need it to be. Specifically, if you're working with Gemini energy, take it from someone that has a Gemini moon, you're going to want to work with your mind, work with your thoughts, be as creative as you can, because Gemini just rules over that. It rules over free creative space, free creative, just let a Gemini think, let a Gemini write it down, let a Gemini talk to you, talk about their ideas, and then you come out, the energy comes out with something really, really beautiful. So to work with this energy really well, one of the best things you can do is scripting during this time, specifically tomorrow. Great time to do this, and also during any Gemini moon as well. Scripting is a great time to do, just because that's what it rules. The next thing, the third thing I put in there was characters. Remember that you are the author, but you're also going to be a character within the story, and you're going to have other people within the story. And if we go back to the dog idea, if you're living with someone, how do you want them to behave with the dog? How do you want the relationship to be in the house? How will that dog affect the structure that's already set, or how would it change it? How will people take responsibility upon themselves to be like, okay, well, you're going to be working, so I'm going to go and I'm going to walk the dog for you? How is that, how is everything going to come together? Like, be as detailed as possible, and make your characters, don't make your characters like, and I kind of want to say the word unrealistic. Make sure if you're writing about someone, specifically if you're living with them or something like that, I'm going to stick with this example. If you're talking about someone that you're living with, don't turn them into somebody that they're not. If you want them to be a little bit nicer or like, or something like that, you can totally do that as well. But don't turn them into like something that they're completely not, because then it's really not gonna, it's not gonna like merge well with their energy, their vibe. Like, if they're on a different level, play on that level, but also add some love to that level. So if they're a little bit like to themselves, and they just kind of stay in the rooms or whatever, and they want to just let you run around with the dog or whatever, you can write like, oh, my roommate's name blah 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 loves playing with the dog and they get along really well. Like, write how their relationship is as well, but don't overdo it. Like, oh my god, loves him more than me, takes him out, buys everything. Like, that's a little bit excessive. Just make sure you're not trying to super control people when you're scripting. Make it realistic, because it's like a daydream, it really is, but daydreams tend to be very much over exaggerated and over dramatic. You want to make it as concrete and as real as possible, where it could be happening in your face. It's like, yeah, this, I can see this happening. I don't know why it's not happening before I had to script it, but I can see it happening. So just make sure you're being imaginative but very realistic as well, especially in regards to writing other people's characters. If you are writing and you're going to be scripting for a new love to come in, and you want to just describe all the awesomeness and stuff that they are, keep that in mind as well. They are going to have their own personalities. They will have their own shadow side. They will have their own darker elements. Don't just write positive things about someone. You can also incorporate shadow sides about it, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I mean, my Scorpio placements, I definitely get attracted to people's like kind of secretive side. Like, that kind of really intrigues me. Like, anytime somebody has something a little bit like mysterious, I'm just like, it's like a little, I don't know, it's like a little light. I'm just like chasing it. I'm like, whoa, that's there. So don't make it super like, oh my god, he has the perfect body, like this and this, and the abs are aligned and all this stuff. Like, make sure you're including stuff that will not only make them happy, but make you happy, that you're attracted to, and be aware that they could also have a shadow side, and be aware of your shadow side. Be aware of the shadow things that you're attracted to in people as well. Make sure you are being realistic. Make sure that you're being very creative, but also realistic, because this kind of goes into the first law of the universe, which is that the all is mind. If you're playing with the mind and it is all mental, yes, you can create a ridiculously crazy persona that's like out of this world perfect, but perfection is relative to the person. So what could be perfect to you might not be what is perfect to me, and also what could be perfect to you doesn't mean that that person feels like they are as well. So I would say definitely make sure that you're realistic but imaginative. Just imagine the complexities as well. Don't just live in all the positive things. You can't just work with like the love and light community can be a little bit like too love and light sometimes. I forget about the shadow side. It has to be a balance. There's a yin and a yang to everything. It has to be balanced out. So just make sure that if you are scripting for a specific person, if you're scripting for money or you're scripting for other material things, that's a little bit different. But if you're scripting for people as far as vibes and spirit wise, they're a little bit more complex. So just make sure that you're careful how and what you're scripting about them. The fourth thing I wrote was location. Pay attention to your location. How do you, do you live in the same apartment? We're going back to the dog thing. Do you guys live in the same apartment? Did you guys move? Are you guys in the current place, or are you guys in a future place? Like, you need to think about, if you're working on a present tense scripting, then you are working with your current location. If you're working with a future tense scripting, then you are working with a different, it could be, it depends, it's up to you. If you want it to be look different, then you write where things are in the room, where the bed of the dog is, how, like where does the dog sleep with you, like what does that look like, what are the locations that we're working with, because think about it just like if you're writing a play. Pisces also, if you guys are watching this, you guys would have a fun time doing this because you guys are Pisces and you guys can dream up a hell of a world. So this would be like a really great thing to work with, especially because you guys are ruled by Neptune. So listen, you guys manifest anyway, real quick. So manifest the right things, but don't forget about the location. Think about it if you are a character in a play and you are creating your space, but it is actually real. And then the fifth thing that I put in there was scent, feeling, and taste, which is, I touched upon it on the first bullet point when I talked about meditating, but this, I kind of have to emphasize it. When we're speaking about location, how things look, when we're speaking about the characters, who's playing it, how they are, their energy, the vibes, we're also need to be thinking about the taste, the feeling, how you feel with the thing that you want to come in, how you feel about this dog, how your relationship with this dog is, how this dog behaves, how it smells, like how what is it, explain it. It's just like if you're looking at it and you're trying to break it down, it's really like if you're writing a book, and if you're a writer, this would be really easy for you to do, but this is why it's a good thing to do this while you're working with Gemini energy, because Gemini already wants to communicate, already wants to write, already is thinking at a different speed. And now that we have like the sun in Gemini and the moon in Gemini, you have a lot of those air like manifestations, and that's kind of really what you should be working with right now. So I hope that this was helpful. If you guys have any questions or anything, you can like message me, or all my links and stuff will be down below. My website is down below and everything. If you guys, there will be more videos up within the next couple of days as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and stay blessed. Bye.